Toastmasters, confidence to speak and lead. Whether you're coaching sports or leading a company, 80% of your success is determined by how well you communicate. So drop into a Toastmasters club soon and join the millions who have succeeded. Toastmasters, confidence to speak and lead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar for this afternoon. Okay, so before we officially start, let's have a short prayer to be led by Miss Era. Miss Era?
Let us pray. Let us pray po. Lord, our eternal God, we are about to begin our webinar. And we do so with the awareness that without your divine presence here at the center of our activity and also within ourselves, our works will be empty. Bless the attendees, the speaker, the facilitator of this webinar, Father. Grace us with your wisdom and vision. Give us with your holy humor and humility so that not only with this activity, but all our lives will be a meeting place for your kingdom. This we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Nakamute ata, Sir Irvin.
Oh, all right, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so as I was saying, so we will be talking about the management of fake news during pandemic, and this is very timely for everyone because we need to educate ourselves in terms of getting to know the virus and on how are we going to manage the control and prevention of the virus sa workplace and even in our homes. Okay, so to start with, allow me to introduce our speaker for this afternoon. So he started his career at RDC as legal researcher last 2009. Transferred to IDF Group as HR supervisor last 2010 and became the head people management under IDF Group. Then transferred back to RDC as HR manager and currently the head admin of PND Seabest Food and Beverage Corporation. So help me welcome our speaker for this afternoon, Mr. Dindo Leoy. Sir Dindo, good afternoon.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Audio check muna.
Hello,
Miss
Dean.
Hyde, can you hear me? Okay. Hello, Ma'am Stella. Hello, everyone.
We can hear you clearly.
Yes. So hopefully this internet connection would pull throughout the presentation, and Sir Irvin will be helping me in facilitating the presentation. So medyo mahaba-haba to siguro, Sir Irvin, mga 170 slides siguro to or 150 slides. So,
Take your
medyo
time.
sana hindi rin tukin.
All right.
Hindi,
Sige,
madali
go
lang
ahead,
to.
sir.
It's a, yeah, managing during pandemic. So, actually, itong managing fake news, it's not necessarily during pandemic lang, but since it is very timely for us to know ano talaga yung fake news, how to control, how to suppress, how to stop, in short, how to manage, plus in our situation ngayon na during pandemic pa talaga. So it's really timely for Sir Irvin and the team, RD Corp, to at least give this platform for us to know further. Okay, so before we proceed, let me go through an introduction natin, Sir Irvin, sa fake news natin. Okay, sir. Yung next slide natin, sir. All right. So, fake news. Okay. Fake news is a very old story. Now, actually, hindi lang siguro natin nararamdaman noon. It's because the social media platform that we have right now is not yet available during that time. But as in my example, during the 1700, during the war, meron ng mga fake news. Meron ng propaganda. No? In this example, they made it appear that King George II was ill at that time in attempt, of course, to destabilize the organization, the soldiers, and the government itself. So that's fake news na. No? And yes, sir. Next, sir. Another example is all right, this one. Not far enough during the 1700. First man on the moon, kailan yon? 1975, 79, I think, no? Sino bang nakakaalam dito? All right. There's someone, a newspaper na merong life on the moon, no? That was 1935. It was the New York Sun. This is a news establishment. They published na merong life on the moon, and then they have this black and white picture, no, representing ano ba yung buhay doon sa moon. Now, the very purpose of fake news, their motive is that to simply gather subscribers at the time. No? So yun lang yung motive nila. And then after they accomplished it, niretract din nila na hindi totoo. Okay? It's just a hoax. And but the objective there to gather more subscribers have already been met. So yan yung aim ng publisher na yon, no? Yung New York Sun na yan. Okay, next tayo, sir. All right, so Sir Irvin will be showing a bit of a small clip, short clip, I mean, regarding po to sa ano talaga yung fake news, because in order for us to manage it, we need to know it first. All right, so that's the very key. We need to know what is fake news. So, Sir Irvin, would you do the honor, please?
What is fake news? Let's clarify. As the name says, these are stories not based on facts. A fact is something that is true or that actually happened. Fake news is the name given to stories that are made up or are written to look like real news. One example of fake news during the 2016 election is when a website published a story saying the Pope, who is the Catholics' religious leader, supported Donald Trump. That was not true, but the website published it anyway, and a lot of people believed it. Fake stories usually become popular on social network sites like Facebook. People see the story in a post and share it without first making sure if it's true. The result is that the fake story soon looks like real news. Making sure a story is true is a journalist's job, especially reporters who report facts. The best way to protect yourself from fake stories is to read the news of reliable media that have had a good reputation for many years. For example, newspapers like the New York Times or the Washington Post, and press agencies like the Associated Press or Reuters. Those media make sure to check and double-check all the facts before publishing. Another way to protect yourself from fake news is to be suspicious of stories you see coming only from websites you've never heard of. If it's real news, it's going to be all over the place. Do you know an example of a fake news story? What can happen when people believe in fake news?
Sila na hindi mag-confirm na. Kung sila na lang dapat.
All right. So thank you very much, Sir Irvin, for that clip. So we have 13 more new, I think, medyo marami-rami pala tayo, no? So thank you very much for lending us your time, and hopefully we can give you insights as together we learn how to manage or how to control the spread of fake news, especially during pandemic. Now, here's my example, another example of spokes Attorney Harry Roque, in a statement published in Manila Bulletin. No, it's hopefully maklaro. No, medyo ano kasi maliit yung pag-ano natin ng picture. But nonetheless, ito yung sinabi niya. Dahil mas maigting ang ating pag-test regarding to sa number of test na ginagawa ng Pilipinas as compared to Indonesia. So parang feeling natin marami tayong this is during the pandemic na. Now, here is another clip, another picture, sir. Okay, here is another picture using the same image, the same publisher, the Manila Bulletin. But you notice na iba na yung it was already doctored, no? The text therein was changed sa para bang ano na ba, hindi ka makapaniwala na ito ba sinabi ba talaga to ni Harry Roque? And then COVID lang yan, no? Konti lang namamatay kahit umabot pa ng 10 milyon. So if you are a critical reader, titingnan mo na totoo ba to? Sinabi ba talaga to ni Spokes Roque? Although we know Spokes Roque is something na talagang candid din minsan, no? Prangka din minsan. But to spot a fake from a real, you need to be more than just a reader, no? You need to be a critical thinker. Now, eto shinare to, no? Siguro yung nagbabasa sa social media, hopefully parang Facebook yung platform talagang shared pa, no? I-share niya, and then meron pang caption, no? Laki talaga ng utak nito. So how many of us is or already yung naging biktima na, no? Naging biktima ng ganyang pamamaraan. So it's very obvious na fake 'yon, right? It's really fake. It's because sino ba naman in national TV na magsasabi ng ganyan, that the very self-incriminating statement, no? Lawyer, a spokesperson for the president, and all of that. So it's really fake, no? So in our visual cognitive, malalaman talaga natin na fake yun siya. All right. Okay, sir. Next slide, sir. Okay, here's another one. No, ganito kalala yung ano natin, yung laganap ng fake news. Here's the news, no? Cebu Parish priest impregnates 2 daughters of his associate pastor. So, 'di ba? Parang catchy masyado. Unang basa mo pa lang parang, 'di ba? Manginginig ka sa galit. Okay? And here is another clip shared by Attorney Rode R. Duterte supporters. No? Manotice mo, shared by someone na hindi mo naman klaro, hindi ka sigurado if it's really a legitimate site, existing person, or it's just a fictitious yan siya. So, ito na naman, sinabi, Cebu Parish priest impregnate 2 daughters of his associates. Ginawa niya, i-share niya. I-share niya. So, without further investigating on the facts and the picture and i-share niya. So, let's see the last picture, sir. All right. So, the same image was published, but this is the real one. Policemen arrest fellow cop during raid of a drug den. So, mano mo rin, no? Talagang maluloko ka if you do not investigate further. Ano yung dahilan? Saan galing? Okay? So talagang maluloko ka sa galing ng tao ngayon sa pagpabricate ng fake news. Now, to understand further yung fake news na tinatawag natin, in order for us to manage it properly, we need to identify what it is. Now, fake news has become a buzzword in the internet and in the news organizations worldwide. No, we know that already. No, while it seems easy to understand, determining what's fake or not is quite difficult. Many people rely on, sa atin siguro gut feel. All right. So the fake news is a false news stories. No, often of a sensational nature. Nakita yung kanina sa example natin, impregnates, di ba? Mga incriminating stories, very obvious. Kasi ang target nun talagang makukuha ka agad yung loob mo, no? But created lang yan siya to widely share distributed purpose of what? Number 1, generating revenue. Sa social media platform, if you know it, the more visitor, the more likes, the more share, syempre, magbabayad ngayon yung platform sa iyo kasi kumikita sila doon sa advertisements, no? The other one is promoting or discrediting a public figure. Sisiraan ko ngayon si Spox Roque, sisiraan ko ngayon si presidente, sisiraan ko ngayon si Tatay Lalayo, sisiraan ko ngayon yung mayor, sisirain ko ngayon yung mga tao sa paligid, all right? Or a simple political movement lang, no? Or for a propaganda of a company. So that's fake news, no? Basically, false news stories, no? Next, sir. Now, this undermines, fake news undermines real news, okay? Unlike fake news, real news went through vetting, no? Kasi ang real news, it went through, some editing process, some vetting process. Hindi yan agad-agad tina-type lang and then nire-release, no? And the editorial board and writers are disclosed. Usually pag fake news kasi may mga disclaimer, hindi binibigay yung link, walang source, no? All right. So, ano ngayon ang fake news natin? Is it lies or mistruth? Okay? So, perhaps we should probably stop using the phrase fake news because it's simply a lie, no? Outright lie. It's outright falsehood, no? A half-truth, no? Misleading articles. So pag sinabi mong fake news, this is one objective lang, no? To discredit someone or an individual, and we can associate it automatically sa lie, no? Pagsisinungaling, no? Yan yung fake news. Hindi yan siya yung misinformation. Hindi rin yung tawag niyo parang na-delay yung tamang information na binigay mo, kasi meron namang nagkamali ka lang ng bigay, no? Marami experiences diyan na hindi lang sakto, kinulang ka lang konti, pero wala kang intention na manira. So iba rin yung misinformation, no? All right, next, sir. In fact, this leading expert in social media named Claire Wardle, she explained that the term fake news does not describe the complexity of misinformation and disinformation, no? Ang misinformation kasi, there is no harm intended, no? Maaring false information pa rin siya, pero there's no harm intended. So, meron niyang mga example tayo mamaya. All right? While in disinformation, false information na nga, meron pang harm na intention yung nagpalaganap nito, no? From the creator to the publicist and hanggang sa nag-share. So yun yung mga ano natin dyan. Alright? May malinformation pa. These are genuine information, pero anong intention yan? To harm, no? To harass. Yun yung mga intention ng malinformation. In short, maaring sa local natin dito sa mga kalye-kalye natin, siguro yan yung chismis na tinatawag, no? Maaring totoo, pero anong intention mo? Just to harass someone, just to intimidate someone, or hate speech. Yan yung mga malinformation natin. Now, next, sir. So let's dig further to the ecosystem of information. Okay pa? Naririnig pa ako, no? Naririnig pa? Nandyan sila, Liza, hello. And then Michelle from RD Hardware. Si John B. Oy, si John. And si Glenn. No, i-acknowledge ko lang to sila kasi hindi ko na kayo nakikita eh. Ang tagal na, no? Ilang buwan na. Parang Edwin. No? All right. Now, again, no, misinformation is the inadvertent lang, no, of sharing a false information. Hindi naman talaga, walang harm intention yon, unlike in disinformation. Now, to understand it further, Claire Wardle made it clear or breaks down the three elements of the information ecosystem. Now, what are these? Number one is the different type of contents, no, being shared. Ano bang sinishare natin? Might it be political in reason, human interest, no? Might it be fashion, sports, entertainment. Now, that's part of the ecosystem, the content that being shared. The other one is the motivation of those who create the content. Pwedeng to gain, pwedeng passion niya lang. Trip ko lang eh. Yun ang passion ko, to discredit someone. Yan yung passion ko. I would feel great self-satisfaction pag napapasama ko yung loob ng iba. So yun lang, and propaganda. Now the third is the way the content is being disseminated. Now nandiyan na tayo. The very common is, wag na tayong lumayo. Facebook, yan. Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms, no? Baka may mga Pinterest kayo, may mga Tinder kayo, or may Friendster. Sino pa may Friendster dito? Mag-chat lang sa chat box. Hindi ko na lang i-mention kung sino may Friendster para hindi malaman ang kaedad ko. Joke lang. All right. So, yun, social media, tabloids, newspapers, leaflets, brochures, and among other things, no? So those are the three elements of the information ecosystem in order for us to understand how fake news works. Because ang fake news is hindi lang yan simple na write and click. Okay, next slide, sir. Hindi lang yan simple write, type, and click. It's a coordinated effort, no? Talagang sinasadya. All right. Now, these are the 7 types of misinformation and disinformation. Okay? So para maintindihan natin, This is according to Wardle pa rin, no? Claire Wardle. Now, we have here satire or parody. No? Wala namang intention to harm people, but it has the potential to fool someone. No? Maraming mga parody if you search YouTube if you search the web or YouTube on parody, maraming example kayo makikita. Well, that it might not be ang intention niyan is to harm or to discredit someone, but it has the potential to fool people. No? Marami diyan ginagawang Ilonggo yung audio, no? Or ginagawang Bisaya, ginagawang iba. And then using a movie clip, and then ginagawang katatawanan. No? If you are that naive, so para bang siguro talaga minsan some other way maluloko ka sa content na yon. All right? The number 2 is misleading content. These are the type of misinformation that use of context with intention to frame an issue or individual. Yan nga, from the word itself, it's a misleading content. And number 3 is imposter content. Ito naman yung ini-impersonate yung authentic na source, kunyari. Okay? Kinukuha lang yung Sunstar. Kinukuha yung logo na Sunstar, didikit doon, and then magpapalaganap na ng mga news. No? Fake news, particularly fake news. So yun yung imposter content. No? It impersonates an authentic source. Okay? Meron namang number 4, we have a fabricated content. No? Ang fabricated content naman, well, this is really, meron tong talagang malikot ang mind nitong tao na to since it is a total fabrication of the new content ng isang article. No? Gagawa ng article na hindi nangyayari, no? And then ipapublish. So it's all on fabrication. Or if nangyari naman, pinafabricate, dinadagdagan, binabawasan. So those are part of misinformation or types of misinformation and disinformation na yung pinafabricate yung content. Now the fifth one is false connection. This one is between the context and the headline, the visual or the caption, it does not correlate or anything for whatsoever. Malayo, no? Kaya itong may mga example, you can search a vast of example of that na yung may mga false connection tayo. Na iba ang headline, no? Iba ang context, minsan iba rin ang caption sa visual. All right? So those are false connection or false content. Ang next naman is the false context. All right? The false context is genuine naman yung content nito, but yung contextual information sa loob nito is misleading information. Okay? Maaring iniiba yung istorya. Okay? Maaring genuine naman yung content, pero yung contextual information of the whole article is malayo. Okay? So that's why, in order for us to really spot fake from real, hindi tayo yung headline reader lang na ako naging biktima ako nito rin na pag headline ganito, share ko kaagad. All right? So from experience na natututo ka rin minsan. So you really need to dig deeper, and that ngayon ano natin yan, madaanan natin yan mamaya-maya, no? All right. So, yun siya. That is a false context. Contextual information at saka yung genuine content niya is hindi magkatugma. Okay? So, the last one is the manipulated content. Yung manipulated content naman is ito yung total manipulation of a particular genuine content, no? Manipulate na, no? So it is manipulation of genuine information or an image. So, if you remember yung mga examples natin earlier, minamanipula niya talaga yung image natin. No? Iniiba. Yung statement ni Spokesroke is different now from a fake statement, which is nilalabas, kumbaga pinapublish din using kunyari imposter content, or yung ginawa ring source kunyari na Manila Bulletin din. So dalawang tinamaan dito sa ating 7 types of misinformation. Okay. So my question so far. I would like to have a more interactive sharing of information dito sa atin ngayon. Question from Miss Hides. May question ka, Heidi Soldivella? Hello, how about Lizel? Hindi ko nakilala yung iba. Sino ba? Sino ba? The RM Guerra. Nahihiya sila, Sir Irvin. Hindi sila.
Oo nga.
Hindi nila binuview yung camera
you
nila.
can use your microphone if you have perhaps additional comments or information na isi-share natin dun sa mga viewers natin.
Isi-share natin para
Or perhaps you have questions, so feel
baka may
free to
tanong
use
kayo.
your microphone.
Or i-interrupt. Yeah, you can interrupt mo as we go along. Pwede nyo kami ma-interrupt. I have here Sir Irvin to facilitate your questions.
Yeah, so
later
for
on.
those
Or even if during the
for those who
presentation.
have questions, kindly type in our chat box, or you can also use your microphone later. So huwag kayong mahihiya. Kasi may prize yata ibibigay si Sir Dindo pag kung sino yung may pinakamaraming question na ibabato sa kanya. Tama ba, Sir Dins?
Pinakamaraming question, oo. Paano natin? Groceries dun sa KCC. Groceries sa KCC na shutdown yata KCC ngayon for the meantime, or some part of okay. So alright, so just prepare your questions, and if you have additional inputs, please feel free sa pag share. We want to be more interactive ditong natin. Mahirap na nga nang magkalayo na nga tayo, hindi na nga tayo sa isang session hall. Tapos nahihiya pa kayo. Si Tessanie nakikita. Yeah, Tessanie naka-mute. And sino pa ba nandito? Mary Ann, sorry. May Ann Mendoza. Nandyan ka, hindi ka makaligtas sa akin. Nababrowse kita. Alright. So naririnig nyo? Okay ba ako sa audio dyan, May?
Yes.
Oo, baka may question si Miss May.
Okay, sige. So baka may questions kayo. Hindi ko nakita si Sharon. Alright. So it's okay. No, if you just feel free to ano pa bang oras? 1:30 pa lang, malayo pa tayo. No, hanggang alas 4 ata tayo . No. Hangga't walang matulog. Anyway,
hello, Sir Deans. May question dito from Glenn.
Ayun si Glenn.
Yung Rappler, sir, what do you think yung
Yes.
content nila? Okay, I'm not sure kung he's referring to a particular news or in general ba na news na sinicirculate ni Rappler.
Actually, I cannot really speak in behalf of Rappler. No? But based on observation, hindi naman kasi talaga sila sinasabi nating nagpa-fabricate entirely ng mga article nila. We have we can search for examples na somehow hindi lang sila naging patas when it comes to writing an article. No? Hindi lang sila patas. Masyado silang one-sided because it's obvious. It's an anti-administration publisher, no? An online platform ng news. But nangyayari naman, no? Nangyayari yung binabalita nila, nababalita rin sa iba. Kaya lang ang kanilang headline minsan napapasok doon sa napapasok doon sa some sort of disinformation, no? Maaring masyado lang captivating yung kanilang headline na natitrigger yung bias ng isang reader, no? But not entirely a false information yung mga sinusulat ni Rappler kasi alam naman nila yung magiging criminal repercussion nun pag talagang purely magpa-fabricate sila. So, yun siya, Glenn. It's not entirely sila sa. In fact, until now existing naman si Rappler because masyado lang nilang sensationalize yung isang issue at saka masyado silang one-sided. So, yan yung issue as far as my observation only is concerned. But as to whether or not totoo o hindi, nasa totoo naman sila actually kasi nababalita naman ng iba yung mga binabalita nila. Okay. All right.
Thanks, sir.
Kasi dapat kung nasa session okay Glenn, kung nasa session hall tayo ngayon siguro nagdi-distribute na ng ng loaf bread at saka pansit. Di ba? Yan yung natin. Yan yung merienda natin sa sa mga seminars. Or any learning session. Now, sige. Nandito tayo sa if you have more questions, please feel free to interrupt us, no? Nandiyan si Sir Erwin to help me and you can type it on chat box if you want. Okay? And at saka tama-tama nandito si Attorney Clem. Bago matapos tong session ko, Attorney Clem, mas maganda may part 2 ito, which is yung liability naman ng nagfe-fake news. Tama ba ako, Sir Erwin? Pwede yun?
Yeah. Mapasubo ako sa inyo dyan,
Yung criminal liability, sir, ng nagfe-fake news. Ayun. So, I would better leave it to the lawyers, no? Buto ni Ma'am Estela yan. Alright, so...
Pwede din kayo magbisita sa live stream ko kasi yung...
Wow, that's good. Sige, sir. Free advertisement yung mamaya, sir. Ipasa mo yung link sa live stream. Ay. Sir, kadali lang yun, sir, ha? Ha? Sumusulat ba to?
Question sa chat box. Yeah.
All right, there's a question. So, hi, Sir Carl from RDC Credit. May I ask, sir, how long has fake news been around? How long has fake news been
Nagtatakot ka,
around?
Che?
Oo, ako yun, sir.
Yes, come again, sir. Sir, meron lang akong
Question is-
paperman, sir, ha? Sisingit ko lang talaga to.
All right, go ahead. So, while waiting for Sir Dindo, by the way, I've shared with you the survey forms for everyone who is present in this webinar. So kindly click the form and pabilisan lang, pakisagot yung survey form and that will serve as your attendance.
So food panda yung ano sir, food panda yung merienda natin ito sir.
All right. So, I'm sorry, sir. Ano yung merienda natin?
Baka pwede mo food panda na lang daw sir, yung merienda natin.
Food panda. Okay, courtesy of Dindo. Okay, so ano, asahan namin yan, sir.
All right. Okay, pasensya na. I really need to business must go on kahit na may webinar tayo. All right. So again, please feel free to interrupt. Shall we proceed now, sir, sa ano natin?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we are now in. So why we have fake news? Baka tatanong nyo, nga naman, we discussed now the three elements of the ecosystem of information and disinformation. And then we already discussed the 7 types of misinformation and disinformation. So now, to support that, why we have fake news.
Mhm.
Of course,
By the way,
very
sir,
ano lang.
Sir Dins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. May question kasi dito sa iyo. Question is, how long has fake news been around? So that's from Carl Levin.
Oo. Actually, Carl, before you and I siguro na pinanganak, may fake news na, no? In the first part of my presentation, as way back in 1700s and 1800s, may mga may lumalabas ng fake news, no? Hindi nga lang kasing siguro kasing lawak ang nararating at saka hindi lang kasing rampant. It's because wala pa namang social media noon. Siguro maano na lang natin, ma-associate natin yung mga street talk natin, yung mga nagchichismis diyan, whether or not pasok yan siya doon sa ating elements ng pagiging fake news. Yun doon na lang tayo parang kukuha ng base or benchmark kung kailan yan nagsimula yung mga yan. Matagal na masyado, no? In fact, during yung sa example ko, 1700 pa yun during sa kay King George II pa. And then meron naman doon during the 1800, meron namang life on the moon daw, no? Wherein kailan ba tayo last na nakapunta lang sa moon, no? If we truly believe that story. 1979 lang ata or 75 to 79, somewhere in that range, no? And in 1996, sa example ng mga nabasa ko, Hillary Clinton daw nag-adapt ng alien na bata, no? That was published also in national newspaper nila. So matagal na, since time immemorial may mga fake news niya. Siguro baka may makita tayong example sa time ni Jesus Christ. baka may fake news na, no? So I cannot give you an exact date or year, but we have examples that as far as 1800 and 1700, may mga fake news na po tayo. Okay? Some more? Okay. Yes, Carl, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay na, sir. Wala lang question.
Or again, hindi tayo ma-confuse, ha. We should not be confused of fake news from a simple yung delay of information, nagkamali, no? Nagkamali ng bigay, nagkamali ng info, not necessarily not within the definition of fake news, because fake news is, as we defined it earlier, meron talaga siyang objective, meron talaga siyang criteria, no? Number one of which is coordinated talaga ang paggawa niyan. All right? Okay, so why do we have fake news? Well, poor journalism, no? Isa yan, poor journalism. Kasi nga, sa journalism, nandiyan yung we should have a strong ethics in journalism. So kung hindi natin yan masyado nasusunod, so we fall into poor journalism, and that leads to unverified sources. Nandiyan na yung masyado mong maaga binigay na hindi pa kumpleto. So nagiging fake news ka tuloy. No? Alright. And we have this parody, parang ano lang, pang chill, no? Pang patawa, no? Kasi nga sa pandemya tayo ngayon kaya maraming parody. Actually, lumakas lang naman tong fake news sa atin even in other countries. Nung 2016 election, no, sa US. Grabe yung siguro nasira talaga yung barrier ng work ethics ng mga journalists because of political partisanship. And we have also passion, yung hilig lang talaga ng tao na manira, mag-fabricate, gumawa ng kung ano-ano. Alright? The number 4 is we have provocation. No? Yan, provocation. We have propaganda. Sorry. Para pang propaganda lang. So kaya may fake news tayo, no? And then ito na yung partisan, no? Nagpapagalingan ito. Syempre kaparte ko susuportahan ko. Doon din sa kabila ganun din. All right? And the last one is yung profit, no? Actually parang ito yung sana yung number 1 eh. Kaya para suspense ginawa ko lang siyang last. Why do we have fake news? It's basically for profit. No? Even in our definition of fake news, we have plenty of definition actually. But given that definitions na marami tayong makikita sa internet, puro yan talaga may profit. Alright? So, siyempre kikita ka, no? Because of the platform, kikita ka talaga. Kung newspaper naman, dadami subscribers mo. Kung social media naman, dadami followers mo, no? Click the bell button to get updated, subscribe, etc. So marami yan. All right, so yan yung mga dahilan bakit tayo nagkakaroon na ng tinatawag nating fake news. Okay. Now, let's proceed to the very gist of our discussion this afternoon. Okay? Let's proceed to how are we contributing. Paano pa tayo nakaka-contribute? Okay? Can someone at least participate? Ano ba yung mga, hindi ko naman sinasabi may experience kayo magpalaganap ng fake news. But, in your, how do we contribute as a social media user in the age of, electronics na tayo ngayon? How do we contribute sa pag-spread ng fake news na to? Okay? Nandiyan si Aliana. RD Corp na si Aliana, no? No. Yes, someone? Paring Edgar, nandiyan ka, no? Edgar Gonzaga. Oh. Very active to pag rescue ng fire doon sa RD City noon. No? Ayun, paano yun Sir Irvin? Parang may All right.
Okay, so
how
may
are we
mga sharing
contributing?
dito, sir.
Yes, please.
According to Edgar, it's sharing of post without understanding it.
Yan.
Another sharing is
no?
The sharing of unverified information from Lalil Malayo.
Correct.
Another one is the sharing of content on social media from unverified sources.
And
from
I think
Cesar Bautista. Another one is not reading the whole context of the news from Carl. Levin.
Yes. Tama, that's correct. Kaya nga hindi dapat tayo maging headline reader lang. No, we should be more than that. No, we should dig deeper. All right. Now, how are we contributing to it? Well, number one, we immediately share it in social media. Okay? Yan yung nababasa natin, and then syempre sino bang ayaw ng maraming friends sa Facebook? 'Di ba? Wala, no? Facebook is giving you up to 5,000 friends ata. Yeah. So next slide tayo, sir. Okay. Yan, social media. All right? So sinishare natin yan. Twitter, Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Pinterest, and we do perhaps in Facebook platform natin. In YouTube. So sinishare. Yan yung mga areas na nakaka-contribute tayo sa paglaganap ng fake news. And also, yung amplification ng mga journalist, no? Meron kasi niyang minsan na I fabricate a story, and then ibibigay ko sa isang journalist or sa isang news establishment, and then yun ngayon yung mag-a-amplify. All right? Might be radio, newspaper, TV. Tapos since unverified yung source, lumalabas na sila na ngayon yung main source mismo, yung journal, yung establishment na yon, no? And also to create public influence. Yan yung mga chismisan, no? Isa rin yan sa linya, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng maraming fake news, and we are contributing to spread the said fake news, no? Yung public, nagkikreate ng mga public influence. And of course, ito yung mga bots and yung mga trolls na tinatawag natin. Basically, ito yung pinaka-source kasi talaga. Ito rin yung way that we contribute to the spread of fake news because may mga troll factory tayo. That is really existing, no? Sad to say, nandyan talaga. There are people, there are big establishment na walang ginawa kundi to spread this information. Wala na silang pakialam, totoo hindi, just to gain profit. So yun ang mga contributor ng pag-spread ng tinatawag nating fake news. Okay? So next is how to stop, how to manage. Now, siguro hindi na bago, no? All of us most likely already know. Alam na natin anong gawin, no? But this is just some sort of reminder kung ano yung magiging role natin to stop the spread of fake news, no? Maaring alam na natin pero talaga ginagawa natin 'yan, di ba? Do we diligently or do we religiously follow it? Because doing deep digging or doing a deeper dig sa mga article, medyo nakakapagod, no? Kaysa naman sa share mo lang bigla. 'Di ba? All right, so sir, please doon tayo sa next. Okay, doon tayo sa how to spot. How to spot ang fake news. No, this is now the how for us to manage yung fake news na tinatawag natin. No, i-correct na natin ito sa ating title. All right? Number one is you need to check the source. Okay, so there are mga suggestions kanina, no? There are reactions kanina and sharing that speaks about the source. Okay? Now, if you're reading an article on a website and you've heard you're reading an article in a website that you never heard before, okay? So, titingnan mo yung source. Okay? Titingnan mo meron man yung di ba, yung mga online web platform natin, meron yung mga contact us, no? Nakalagay diyan about us or author, no, saan galing. So please take time to do it, no? Take time to search further, anong source nito? Saan to galing? Baka naman ang source lang nito si Pinoy Ako Vlog o kaya si ano 'yan? Patulang Pilipina, no? O di kaya Mocha Uson Vlog. Joke lang. Baka may supporter kay Mocha Uson dito. Wala. Leave the meeting. Joke lang. So you need to really check the source before you click or share it, no? If the site is meant to be satirical, well, may mga disclaimer yan, no? Pag kunyari yung parang panloloko lang or it's satire style of giving information para lang katuwaan. May mga disclaimer talaga yan. No? So makita mo na doon pa lang. Next is don't judge, or in this case, don't judge the article by its cover or by its title. No, it's because again, in the earlier part of our discussion, maraming part of the misinformation and disinformation there was magkaiba yung headline sa context. Meron namang context pero yung content niya hindi rin magkatugma. Meron namang mga fabricated yung source. So doon diyan. So wag tayo maging headline reader lang, no? We should read further, no? Because unreliable sites will often use misleading stories, no? Just to lure the reader, no? So keep reading hanggang sa makita mo talaga na alright, hindi to wala ni klaro, no? Pangliba ra ni, okay? Or if you're reading in the website, you look at the URL, no? Website na siya that shares fake news and some fake news website also. O yan. Ayan, ano yan? Real news yan, real news. Alright. So, ganoon siya. Alright? So, tingnan nyo yung address. Baka hindi mo alam, known na yan pa talaga siya na nagbibigay ng mga fake news na yan. So, yeah, that's it. Okay? And also, are there any news sites reporting the same story? Pag may, kunyari, Hillary Clinton adopt alien baby. Tapos binalita sa Fox News. Is Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, no, or even local TV, binabalita din ba 'yun? All right? Or let's say yung ano natin, namatay na yung isang celebrity. Binalita rin ba sa ganito? So those are common things na dapat natin gawin before we share or before we even tell it to someone na ganun sa regarding sa news na yan. All right? And also, I'm not a good writer, but I can at least spot a sloppy writing. No? Be wary of a sloppy writing kasi ang fake news naman hindi naman yan nagwo-worry sa grammar, hindi yan nagwo-worry sa syntax, hindi yan nagwo-worry sa content. That fake news, in order to gain viewers, likes, shares, etc., just to make profit. Yun lang naman ang objective lang ng fake news. Alright? And you can use the help of the fact-checker sites. No? Pwede mo yan. Marami. I'll give examples later on. Pero marami yan. And also, even si Facebook is mayroon siyang fact-checker na. Alright? And also, you check the dates. Di ba? Sino bang nagpa-follow dito kay Vivian Velez? Wala na namang aamin. So, siyempre ako lang siguro, kasi ako lang ata yung, wala naman yung mga kasama ko rito, mga kaedad ko ata. Puro naman to generation, ano na ba to? Alright? Okay. So, Vivian Velez shared some article regarding yung ano yung tondo noon, no? Ano yung tondo noon? And then parang kinumpare yung pangyayari. Pero hindi niya ni-check na that was 1970s pa, no? Para bang wow, because of the pandemic, grabe ganito kalaki, ganito ang nawala ng mga traffic, ganito ang nawala ng mga tao, no? Na para bang napaka-barren ng street ng Tondo. Yun pala 1970s pa pala yun. And then he shared it. she shared it in her social media account, and then siyempre naglaganap. She made a public apology naman din. So, yan, because hindi tinitingnan yung date ng picture ba, no, na bigla na lang tayong nag-share, hindi natin alam. All right. So, we're almost done. Let's proceed to back up this knowledge on how to spot this fake news. We need some social media literacy. No, we should admit it. Social media user yung generation nyo ngayon, and nakikisabay yung generation namin, but we really need to somehow enhance our social media literacy. Now, in the next slide, nandun yung mga natin. Okay. All right, Sir Irvin.
Kasi na-overlook ko, sir. Sumuan ko lang.
Yes, sir.
All right, shall we proceed now to
Yes,
to next
social
slide
media
natin, sir?
literacy initiatives.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think that's
Kamusta, sir?
the last slide na natin.
Nakikita pa yung slide, sir?
Yes. Okay naman. All right. Okay. Thank you, sir. So, social media literacy natin. Don't be seduced by the simplicity. Kasi kasagaran man good sa mga sa fake news. They made it very simple and obvious. Because the target there is to capture immediately the reader, no? All types of reader yan. Hindi yan nagbabase na elite lang or whatsoever, no? No. A series of studies have shown that it is surprisingly easy to mask, no, a lie in the veil of credibility by making it sound so obvious, no? So, obvious nga naman. So now, magtaka ka ba? Napaka-obvious naman ito na klase na na article na to or news na to. So yeah, you really need to be more some sort of a critic person regarding the article. So do not be seduced by simplicity. Secondly, be smart to doctored images. Kanina sa example natin, or mayroon pang ibang example, nakakatawa guys, sabihin ko sa inyo yung mga politiko natin, no? Not to offend any political parties here. Nakakatawa yan. Kung hindi kayo masyado marunong tumingin because napakagaling mag-Photoshop, well, doon na lang kayo sa intellectual capacity ng tao. Na talaga sinabi niyo to, 'di ba? Parang hindi naman akma sa kanyang katauhan na sinasabi nito. Pero meron sinabi niya kunyari yun sa isang post. No, 'di ba? Be smart to doctored images. And images can also increase a story's cognitive fluency, no? Kasi may mga tao na visual talaga, no? But well, yun nga sa Photoshop, madali na masyado silang i-doktor because of the skills na the technology and the skills na meron tayo ngayon. Now, second is we should accept also our, in some part we are ignorant of yung pamamaraan how this fake news is spreading. Okay? So many people suffers from overconfidence din minsan kasi, no? Alam ko na yan, ganito, no? They believe they know more than the average person, and sometimes we feel less critical pag marami na tayong alam. Okay? Yes sir. More than average, then we feel less critical of the information that reinforces our assumption. Okay? So that's why hindi na tayo nag-i-entertain ng iba pa. Okay? Now, last but not the least, look beyond your bubble. What does it mean? Look to new sources. Okay? Hindi naman lahat the same yung binabalita ngayon, pero somehow pag yan kalaking issue, marami talagang ko-cover niyan. So look for various sites na pwedeng magbalita niyan. Okay? And you need to look also for news sources that do not usually read and try to talk to people with different views. Okay? You might be surprised, guys, that you find it you find the information or the questions the fact that you took for granted. Okay? And also be curious. People who are more curious appear to appraise scientific evidence in more balanced and equal way. Okay? Yung magiging curious ka palagi. Why? Hindi ka nagsa-stop into just reading a sentence and settle down in one understanding. You need to be curious. Curiosity, sometimes it leads to knowledge and wisdom also. Okay? And consider the opposite, the last one. Check your biases. Minsan kasi, pag merong statement na ganito, tapos kapartido mo pa, nagiging bias ka na. Alright? So, check your biases para hindi naman masyado cloud yung judgment mo sa isang article. Kasi minsan, lalo na kapag kapartido mo, tapos parang align pa kayo ng paniniwala, so pag nabasa mo yung ganong article, wala na, captured ka na. And then, ngayon, yung naglalaro sa utak mo, paano ko to matapon sa iba? Paano ko makagati nito sa mga kalaban ko? Parang ganon. So, yeah, consider the opposite. Be real, tawag nito, yung para bang, what do you call this? Nakalimutan ko na tuloy. Just consider the opposite. Check your biases. Para naman magiging patas ka pagdating doon sa treatment ng isang article o ng isang news na tinatawag natin. Okay? So, those are some of the bits and tips that me and Sir Irvin would like to share to you this afternoon on how to manage the fake news during pandemic. Kasi nga, most of us nasa bahay lang, so baka masyado na tayong bagot. Ako na, parang ilang buwan ako sa bahay lang. Masyado ng bagot, wala nang nagagawa. So, baka contributor na tayo ng fake news. I remember yung, naalala niyo yung unang-unang nagpositive si Jensen. Naalala niyo yun, unang-unang nagpositive si Jensen na binaha yung mga group chat natin, or baka kami lang. But I believe, kayo rin, naging rin kayo nun. Binaha ng napakaraming fake news, napakaraming misinformation at saka disinformation. Because ang mga tao is naging less curious na sa talagang ano yung totoo, kundi diretso na lang share. So I was speaking of a fact checker sites kanina. Sa next slide natin, and that would be the last, nandan yung several of the fact-checking websites na pwede makatulong sa atin if we really need to know kung ano yung nilalaman, ano yung content, is it really true, is it really reliable yung mga source, because yun nga, hindi lang naman Pilipinas ang tinatamaan ng fake news. In fact, mas malala pa sa ibang bansa. In the US, grabe ang laganap ng mga fake news nila doon. And sa atin nga, medyo politics lang, no? Dito lang tayo tinatamaan sa politics yung mga fake news natin. But in some other places, in some other countries, all areas ng pamumuhay doon, na nababalot ng fake news. It's really hard to do. It's really difficult to spot what's real from fake. So by that, sa mga na-share namin ni Sir Irvin sa inyo, hopefully ma-share natin itong in PDF file so that you can check ano yung mga simple tips lang naman for you to manage the spread or to control the spread of fake news during this pandemic time. So fact-checking website natin, guys, nandyan. Alright, so pwede natin yung subukan, no? If we want to check some articles kung totoo ba to o hindi. Okay, so with that, I'm done. At least hindi ako masyado lumampas, ano? Mahaba rin pala. Akala ko madali lang
sir.
siya i-explain.
Before you before you wrap up your
Yes.
your presentation, let's give time muna dun sa ating sponsor for the webinar for this afternoon. Okay, papalabas
Yes.
na natin yung kanilang video. Just a sort of invitation also to our viewers.
Yeah. Oo. Kasi maraming thank you very much pala sa pag share your time with us. Now, it's about Toastmasters, Sir Irvin. So
Yes, oo. So kasi Toastmaster is our sponsor for this afternoon, and we'll give chance to offer kung ano ba ang meron sa Toastmaster and ano ba yung benefit na makukuha natin for Toastmaster.
Well, yeah, maganda yan, sir. If baka kung gusto niyo maging kapal ng mukha ko, magsalita rito, so pwede kayong mag-enroll sa Toastmaster. Hindi, joke lang. Sorry for the term, but for you to improve your speech facility, yan, pwede. Toastmaster tayo, guys.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Toastmasters International.
Yes.
Toastmasters holds the keys to becoming a confident speaker and leader. With over 350,000 members and through its proven self-paced program, people from around the globe have gained the tools for effective communication and leadership. In Toastmasters, you'll also benefit from honest and supportive feedback from your peers. For a list of clubs in your area, visit our website at www.toastmasters.org.
All right, so why do we need to join Toastmasters? So I just want to inform everyone that Toastmaster is the best way to improve our communication skills. And Toastmaster can help you lose the fear of public speaking and learn skills that will help you be more successful kung ano man yung mga endeavor na we look forward to develop our skills. Now, for those who would like to join the club, I'll be sharing you here the contact person. Okay, can you see the screen? Okay, so for those who would like to join the RD Toastmaster Club, so kindly contact the club president, Attorney Clem A. Panganduyon. So just email him. Nakalagay dyan sa screen natin yung email address. You can screenshot the screen and then they'll keep in touch with you for the details. Okay? So thank you so much sa RD Toastmaster. Now, just to add lang nga pala, Sir Dindo, regarding dun sa sharing mo, it was very interesting na talagang fake news is not good. Kasi ang observe natin is nagiging practice na siya, especially nowadays that we have these platforms, different platforms online na napakadaling gamitin. However, the government, just to share to everyone na yung government natin, meron ding pinalabas naman on how to control yung tinatawag nating fake news. So from the Department of Information and Communications Technology, that spreading fake news is a crime. So according to Republic Act number 11469, Section 6, it penalizes those individuals or group creating, perpetrating, or spreading false information regarding the COVID-19 crisis on social media and other platforms, such as information having no valid or beneficial effect on the population and are clearly geared to promote chaos, panic, anarchy, fear, or confusion, and those participating in cyber incidents that make use or take advantage of the current crisis situation to prey on the public through scams, phishing, fraudulent emails, or other similar acts. Okay, so aside from this, meron din tayong tinatawag na Data Privacy Act. So talagang meron din namang control ang government on penalizing kung sino man yung who go beyond the rule or the law in terms of circulating this information without valid, let's say, hindi siya valid because wala naman talaga tayong ano yung mention mo kanina, sir, because of our different intentions kung bakit natin pinopost yung information. Okay, so let's proceed with our question and answer. So kagaya nga nasabi ni Sir Dindo, you think before you click. Okay, so let's proceed with the question and answer. Questions?
Okay, question and answer tayo, mga sir, ma'am. Pag legal, si Attorney Clem ang ano natin, damayon ginako sa Attorney Clem, no? Attorney Clem, napa ba sa Attorney Clem?
Sir, ba?
All right. Actually, it's a good, continuation or a series sa fake news natin. Yung ano naman, yung liability para talagang kumpleto yung magiging knowledge ng ating listeners na hindi lang basta-basta fake news lang to pinag-uusapan, that there is a criminal liability dun sa nagpapalaganap, right?
Alright, so may I just add na lang, sir, para hindi na ako mag-set ng webinar next.
All right. Sige, sir.
All right, so with regards to criminal liability, really there is really a risk of incurring or being held criminally liable in propagating fake news. Especially if the information that you are going to post in social media or in any platform is derogatory, a matter which derogate the rights of another. So you may be held liable for cybercrime or cyber libel. So tama tong giingon ni Sir Dindo that you have to think before you click. So, and also very rampant during this pandemic yung fake news about positive cases of individuals who are tested positive, and then the information is not coming from a verified source or it's not coming from a local from authority. So let's be careful of sharing those information, even if it is true, but it is not coming from a verified or authorized source. So you may be held liable under bayanihan. So may provision of law, may penal laws doon na pinipenalize yung mga tao na nag-spread ng news about COVID which is coming from an unverified source, even if it is proven later on that it is true. Kasi ang i-try i-manage ng government is that wag magpanic, no? That will cause panic to the people. So be careful. Daghan kayo sa Facebook kanang like atong sa KCC, there is a Gensa, no, na lockdown daw kay na ay very detailed ang information. It's circulating in social media, pero dili siya dapat gina-share because it's from an unverified or an unofficial source. So we share information regarding COVID from the Department of Health and our city. So, but if it's coming from an unverified source, we do not know how true it is or what's the purpose. So, mao na siya ang mga dapat lang bantayan.
Right. So,
okay, so more to ikaad.
Thank you so much, Attorney Clem, for the clarification.
Thank you very much, Attorney Clem,
on what will be our limitations, and hopefully, we all learned, our limitations and how are we going to manage whenever we read informations to whatever or whenever man or whatever platform na ginagamit natin. Okay, I think we're running out of time already, Sir Dindo. And I think wala namang questions so far.
Yeah.
Based dito sa ating chat
Okay.
box, wala namang mga questions. So unless meron ka pang last reminders to our viewers.
Wala naman, sir. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity lang for the people who joined, no. We have plenty of yung nag-join sa tuwa karon. So thank you very much, Ma'am Estela, Sir Erwin, for the opportunity where I can share also some bits and tips na pwede kong ma-share regarding managing of fake news during pandemic. And for the link na nakita ko rito, and yeah, it's I think it's the only employee club ba to? Yeah, na existing ngayon. Baka iba, I'm not sure lang sa iba, but yeah, we should take influence from link na hanggang ngayon they are very strong in their employer-employee relationship. So thank you very much again, RD Corporation, and sa mga attendees, and I hope you learned something. And if you want the PDF file of the presentation, at least somehow may ma-remind tayo, I would like to ask the help also of Sir Erwin to facilitate that one.
Okay, sir, noted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
once again, I would like to
Okay
thank
po,
everyone, the 35 participants in this webinar, and please help me extend our
isang
appreciation
session talaga yan,
to Sir Dindo. And hopefully this is just the start of your being a speaker in one of our webinars. We look forward na maging part ka pa ng mga succeeding topics natin in the future. So once again, everyone, I'll see you in our next webinar. And we have another exciting and very interesting topic next Thursday. All right. So thank you and have a nice day. Stay safe.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.